the greatest battles ever, ever. Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer, no. Bow Wow and Lil Romeo, no. Jadakiss versus Beanie Siegel. Jadakiss and Beanie Siegel. Now, I'm not going to waste no time. Beanie Siegel clearly won this battle. It's not even a debate. Really, I don't know what Jadakiss was doing when he got on that disco beat. Like, what is this? Wasn't it like a Herb McGruff beat? I believe it was like a disco beat from like the 70s or some rapper like remixed it in like 83. But then you can't get into a battle and use like a country instrumental. You can't use a disco beat. Like, no. What is this? This is like 2001, 2002. Call Swiss Beats. Get Just Blaze. Well, actually, no. Just Blaze Rockefeller. Never mind. But like, come on, get Bink. Go find DJ Premier. No. Let's get a disco beat. So he lost the battle off that to me. But this is still an iconic battle, a legendary affair. But Beanie Siegel won. Now, this whole beef, as usual, is usually someone else is putting Negroes against each other, but the Negroes don't realize that, which is Jay-Z. Now, on this channel, I've been very accurate about my criticism of Jay-Z and his nonsense over the years. The man is still rocking this dreadlock weave with no shame. Hit the like button. Share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're not. Donate to the Cash App in the description, XDN Online. Now, when Jadakiss gets into the music industry, this is around 96, and they're on Bad Boy Records, what have you. And in 96, this is when Jay-Z is doing Reasonable Doubt, and he's also around Biggie for the Life After Death sessions. And you know, the Locks and Jay-Z and Biggie Smalls and Puff Daddy Combs, they're all mixing circles, pause. So, Jadakiss was familiar with Jay-Z for years before this conflict. And then when Siegel comes to Rockefeller, this is around 98, 99, and they do the More Money, More Cash, More Hoes and all remix. And also in 98, they have Reservoir Dogs, and that has like the Locks and Siegel and all these things. So they're crossing lines. They know each other, whatever. But Jay-Z, who's an insecure Sagittarius, also an egomaniac, also a megalomaniac, at some point, Jay-Z gets to this thing of, I gotta always be seen. I gotta always be heard. I gotta have the hottest single. I gotta have all the remixes. So when you get to 2000, and this is when the Locks, they had the whole campaign of getting off Bad Boy Records, and now they're on Rough Rider Entertainment. Jadakiss and Styles P, the Locks, a lot of the way they made their money was features over the years. They were always heavy on features and mixtapes. So Maya, who was a hot artist at this time, Maya, who's another one who's better than Beyonce in every way, who can really sing. But she had that baby voice on the Rugrats soundtrack. Am I the only one who never liked the Rugrats? Ugh. In that late 90s, early 2000s, I was never watching that. I was watching like Boy Meets World, Sister Sister. Around like 2000, I think that's Sister Sister, that's when they were like in the college years. I was watching Smart Guy, Morris L. Tibbs. I was never watching Rugrat. Am I the only one? I like Hey Arnold, but whatever. So, Maya's built her name, and she's one of the hot pop R&B singers, what have you. And around 2000, this is when they do the film of the Def Jam 2000 tour, the Backstage movie with DMX and Ja Rule and Memphis Bleak and all his do-rags, and Siegel and whatever the case, Jay-Z. And for this soundtrack, this is around the time when Maya had a song called Best of Me. Now, the original version of Best of Me had Jadakiss on it. But then Jay-Z, which is a snake move, and he's been doing this move for years, and this is what a lot of these insecure people do is, you have a hot song or whatever the case, the bigger person, quote unquote, will take your beat and then they'll remix it and flip it. So now people think, oh, it's their song. They try to overshadow you. And then if you press them, they act like they weren't doing that. It's trying to overshadow you. So Jay-Z, he sneaks in and he gets Maya to do a remix of Best of Me with him on it. That's a direct snake move to affect Jadakiss. Because at the time, also, Jay-Z is going to get promoted more heavily by Universal than Jadakiss is. He did everything to overshadow Jadakiss just because he had to have that spotlight, and he was probably trying to get at Maya. This is when Jay-Z was trying to get at Aaliyah and Blue Cantrell, all these big head broads. I'm not mad at it. But anyway, so he tried to snake and overshadow Jadakiss, and that's why on Ether, in 2001, that's when, at the end of Ether, that's why Nas says, basically you snake someone and try to apologize, ask Kiss. That's what he meant by that. So Nas was basically saying what I said. You snake Jadakiss and then try to apologize. And then that's where the beef kind of really got set off. And Jay-Z, who ran from Jadakiss, didn't want no problems with him. He put Beanie Sigel in front of Jadakiss. And Beanie Sigel, and I like Beanie Sigel as much as the next guy, but Beanie Sigel is a sent-off man. Beanie Siegel's who you sent off. There's the stories of him going to the restaurant to save Kanye from getting his chain taken. Beanie Siegel is the sent-off man. He is. They didn't send Memphis Bleek. So Jay-Z, who's in the middle of the Nas conflict and the Ja Rule conflict, 2001 is a fascinating year. So many things going on. In 2001, the biggest rappers was DMX and Jay-Z, and you had Nelly and Ja Rule, and Bow Wow was triple platinum. But even in that time, the highest selling rap album in 2001 is when Tupac did Until the End of Time. It's like, this is an album he recorded in 96. It's like 5 years later, and it was the highest selling album in rap that year. That's how powerful Tupac Shakur was. Even from the grave, he's outselling these Negroes. Hit the like button. So they go at it, and pause. And even though Jadakiss lost this battle in the end, he did get his shots in, and he did have some slick shots. And a slick shot that he had at Beanie Sigel is when Jadakiss and Nas teamed up, and they did, oh my God, they did Show Discipline. They did Show Discipline on Jadakiss' debut album. And, sometimes when someone disses you, they say something you can't deny, you can't rebuttal. And on Show Discipline, Jadakiss says, I earned my spot. Nobody ain't put me here. Which is a direct shot at Beanie Sigel. Earned my spot. Nobody ain't put me here. Now, that line is a timeless line, not just because he dissed Beanie Sigel, but when you get into the 2000s to now, this is what? This is the era of industry plants. These people didn't earn a spot. They were put here. These influencers, influencing what? These actors, these rappers, all these people you never heard of, that one day they pop up. And how do you have 2 YouTube videos, but you already have 1 million subscribers? How? Who is this person? It was a slick line at Beanie Sigel, but it's a line that lives on in many ways. Basically, that was a giant call out of what would be known as industry plants. Now, was Beanie Sigel, did he earn his spot? Yes, he did earn his spot, but it's still a slick line because through Jay-Z, Beanie Sigel did get a lot of features. He was on Puffy's album. Did Puff Daddy know Beanie Sigel? No, but you're on Jay-Z. Beanie Sigel did get a lot of shots and opportunities. He was in the Backstage movie. He did get a lot of things because he was affiliated with Jay-Z. I don't think he was a plant, but it is a slick shot that does kind of fit, and it lives on. And with that said, I'm up out of here. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and that is it.